it doesn't get into the media, that the general public can find out.
Okay. And what kind of media are you referencing? Because, you know,
broadcasting.
News broadcasting.
Right.
Because this is an interesting conversation that we can have here. It's ironic. There are not many times that I am in agreement with our current President of the United States of America. Okay? But one of the things that he has said about some of these type of companies that I believe you're referencing, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, is that they don't cover all the things that maybe we should be covering in the ways that most humans might consider like appropriate.
Correct.
I remember growing up in the 80s, we had like a global crisis because Africa was dying of lack of food. Right. And I'm just I'm talking while doing some painting shots of this this park here to show how our community has just a variety of things, including unhoused people. But they're part of our crisis in America right now, right? As much as people were unfed, they're unhoused. Correct. So the distribution of our resources and the time and energy that we're doing, you know, we get to talk about this because we can see the issue. Correct. And I kind of lost where you were talking about. So come bring me back in full circle, huh?
Pretty much it was about what the media lets the
media. Yeah.
Lets the general public know, you know, what they put on TV to convince the public what's going on is not actually reality. And unless the public gets involved on their own and meets people, they're not going to know the truth.
And that's exactly the truth, and that's exactly where I was trying to come back full circle. Because what we see here on this quiet, peaceful day, as we're walking backwards, we're going to pan back on the on this feeding that's going on, and again, the nativity scene over there at the Capitol, the City County building, is where we had a press conference regarding homelessness and the sweeps in Denver, and the news. NBC 7 or ABC 7 was there for a little while along our protest route.
Correct.
But I didn't see them.
They didn't get to our destination.
They didn't get to the press conference.
No, not at all.
Oh, so the press didn't actually cover the news.
They didn't.
And what they did cover won't be the reality or the truth of what their what the conversation is, because they didn't get the full conversation.
They didn't.
And that's why I don't often agree with our presidents, but we might call those sources of news fake news because they're not giving us the truth.
They're not at all.
Right, and the truth is a lie, and if it's not real, it's fake.
Right, and that's part of it. If you don't get involved, you're never going to know the truth.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with this park?
Yes.
Do you know any of its history?
No.
This park, this land here, as Denver was being developed, the city and county building on one side, this is the Greek Theater, and behind it is the Art Museum and the Denver Public Library, and there's courthouses down here, and the city and county, or the state capitol on the other side, which we can't see right now. Back in some very rough times in this country's growth, this was a man camps.
Really?
Yeah. This space during the Dust Bowl was where all the farmers and the people who were dying out in the country because they had no food, no water, all their crops were coming up and everything, and they flooded to the city.
Oh, wow.
This is where they lived. This is where they were fed. This is where their toilets were. This is where their housing was.
Oh, wow.
Camping in the middle of downtown Denver.
Wow.
And 100 years later, we have these beautiful parks, but when we have a humanitarian crisis, we're missing out on using space to allow people to camp and to have it manageable where, see, at the Greek Theater here, it's a beautiful space, but there's no toilet. There's porta potties that could be brought here, but there's no toilets on this side. There are, over there in the far yonder distance of the McNickols building, 2 public toilets, which are open currently, and most people don't know this, because from this looking distance, would you recognize that there's a bathroom over there?
No, not at all.
Not at all. But these toilets are part of the city's efforts to try a little bit better, and we got to recognize where there's a little bit better going on. But also, this is a big tourist walking area, right?
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't want to come look at the beautiful statues? And who doesn't?
And the flowers are beautiful in the summer.
Oh, the gardens here are wonderful.
They're beautiful.
But, you see the sign now?
Yes.
See that sign?
Yes.
That is the public restroom sign. Does it look like a toilet?
Did they make it any smaller?
Because we're not like 1,000 feet away.
No.
Might need corrective vision from this distance, though, to see it.
No, I could see.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can see it, but I can't read it, right? And as we were walking, guys, this is just going to be interesting because we're just walking at a normal pace. But I can see public on there. I see Denver and public, but the word restroom is definitely in the smallest font type, or it's crowded. The word is crowded, so it's the smallest word on the board, right? You understand what I'm saying? Because this sign, the public, P-U-B-L-I-C, is a lot less letters than restroom.
It is.
So you have to have a smaller font to get the word restroom, unless you put it at the top of the sign. Correct. Where it could be the same size. And, wow, I wonder how long I was not actually looking at the side but the sidewalk. We might have to edit that out. But anyway, folks, it's now public restroom. I can read it from here. Which means I'm actually have to be virtually sitting on top of the sign, even though I can see the Denver side, from the sidewalk before.
The coloring they used to say Mile High City, you couldn't see till you got up close.
You're right about that. So let's look at this though for a second, because this is the bathroom sign, and you can read it.
Yeah.
About halfway to the next walk pathway over there. Okay. So where those people are walking, they can't see the word restroom.
No, they
right?
can't.
And if you look, there's another sign where the restroom is. Can you actually personally read the word restroom from there?
No, I can just read Denver Public.
I think a lot of people are going to agree with you on that when they watch this live. So we're going to talk about this real briefly, and then we're at 20 minutes and probably enough of a video for today to process tonight. Anyway, these are the bathrooms. As you can see, the doors are open.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Instinctively, do you want to walk up there?
No.
Why not?
Because the doors are open.
The doors are open. Have you grown up in a culture where peeing with an open door is an acceptable thing?
No, not at all.
Not at all? I might want to shock you with something else today. I've never been in the women's bathroom at the Civic Center Transit Authority, the mass transit center over there. But it's alleged that the doors don't exist in the women's bathroom. They don't exist in the men's bathroom.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we might ask you just to check that out for us.
No problem.
But this is the security booth that's been provided, because in order to have bathrooms, you must have security. That's the new law here in town. And we're gonna walk up to this. I really want to just throw.
There's cleaning supplies though.
Okay, so there are cleaning supplies, so that's good. And and there's this thing. We're gonna get up on this real clear and close. Door must remain open at all times. Pull curtain closed. Restroom hours 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so this is the McNickols building. The bathroom is wide open. The sanitizer's there. The stainless steel sink with a motion sensor. How does one wash? Okay, so it looks like you have to touch to get it, but it's like heat or something censored. The door's open. The curtain, obviously this is, it squirts. Do you see that? That's kind of weird, because it squirts over every time. So, but it's like a sensor of some sort. And this is the curtain, right? It's like I'm in a hospital.
That's the toilet.
To use the toilet. Now, if you're a tourist, this is why they're going to allege that they need the door to stay open. Because this is a biohazard infectious waste sharps box. And it's metal so that you can't access it, which is probably good. But that means that they're worried about people injecting themselves. So, I'm guessing there's going to be some interesting commentary on this.
And they're unisex bathrooms.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Gender neutral, because they're single stall, right? Because somebody left their peanut butter in here. But that's the bathroom, folks. And these are this is the McNickols building. So we'll give credit where credit's due, but not enough credit, because 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. that doesn't sound to me like hours that most people who might actually
Have to go use the restroom?
use this style of bathroom.
Correct.
Right? Because you have a job,
Yes.
you have a house,
Yes.
you probably carry a piece of plastic around with you that has money on it or is worth something, right?
Yeah.
So you would walk up to something like this and probably say,
I'm not using it.
right, much better than me saying, oh, hell no, right? And the hours, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., probably close enough that you could hold it.
Yes.
To get to the next business location.
Correct.
Where you didn't care if you had to pay.
Correct.
Okay. So that's what we might consider to be gentrification. The way the law treats